So this is episode 4 of Sibling Rivalry for everyone watching. But we actually recorded episode 4 yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And we were going to record episode 5 today before I go on holiday. But we're actually redoing episode 4. Because do you want me to explain or do you want to explain?
Towards the end, I realised my mic was switched off.
So we recorded 2 sections, didn't we?
Yeah.
And at the end of the second one, you said, my mic's not on. I wonder if it's like, and you didn't know whether it just switched off after we'd finished or
if it switched off in the break.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, well, we're going to have to record the second section again. That was what our thought was, wasn't it?
When I think it was the whole thing.
And then it was only afterwards where I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to have to check the start as well. And the whole thing was...
I was really quiet and you were...
Yeah.
You could be here, but I couldn't.
So that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we did like 50... It was only like 50 minutes or something, wasn't it? But
yeah.
It was quite late on in the day anyway, wasn't it? I'm obviously like, I just want to go on holiday now. You know what I mean?
I was quite quiet as well.
Yeah. As well as being like physically quiet, you were quite like quiet in conversation.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
But anyway, so welcome back. We said before we started that we wanted some practice, didn't we? So
yeah,
we got some practice yesterday, I guess. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Where did we? Oh yeah, so where we actually started yesterday was my little mini breakdown at the beginning of the week, wasn't it? Which now, because obviously it's Sunday and I go tomorrow, seems absolutely years ago. Like,
yeah.
Feels like a different lifetime when that happened.
Yeah.
But I had to take Tuesday off work through stress. So obviously I've been on my own for like 4.5, 5 months on my team.
Yeah.
So it's been hard. It's been horrible.
And it's just hit you all of a sudden.
And I've like cracked on and not really complained. I've had the odd moment where it's been quite overwhelming. But the closer I've got to like going on holiday, the more I've been like, bloody hell, this has been...
And the more it's just hit you.
So yeah, I was like, this past few months have been crazy.
Yeah.
And then I just like burst into tears before I was meant to start work. And just couldn't do it. She was meant to be going only to St. Helens, but like the idea of travelling on Wednesday, when I was like, I finish on Friday to go on holiday.
That was too much.
And I just haven't had any time since Christmas to myself. I was like, I don't want to go and see people. I just sit at home, please. And I just came out. I was like, I don't want to go in. But obviously I work from home.
Yeah.
So I feel stupid, like, feeling like that. But it has been, like, really hard the past few months. I'm not normally one to get that stressed about work, am I? Like,
no.
Normally for me, when I finish for the day at 4:30, it's gone. But it's been getting harder and harder to do that.
Yeah, because you're on your own. You've been on your own for a while. And
yeah, and so obviously, and then I know it's like first world problems. But yeah, it just got a bit much for me and I struggled with it. So I cried before I started work, and then I was like, well, I'm going to have to speak to my manager because I'm not doing too good. So I had to get her to phone me, and then and the first thing she goes, is everything all right? And I just started whinging again. I'm having a bit of a tough time. She was brilliant about it, like, don't get me wrong. But,
yeah.
And like, she told me not to worry about it and to just take a day to like try and get my head straight and stuff. But it was just, I got up dead early on Tuesday as well. Like,
yeah.
So I had loads of time before work, and I didn't feel like I was going to be a mess or not, and I felt normal. But and then the closer it got,
you were a mess.
Yeah, you were sitting in here, and then I was just sitting in there going.
And then the dog
spotted me. Yeah.
Well, the dog heard you sniffle, didn't she? And then as she does, she went ballistic.
Yeah. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a week, to be honest. I'm still knackered now. I haven't even got there yet, so tomorrow is going to be don't get me wrong, I'm going on holiday, I can't complain too much, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm dead excited for it as well. But I'm travelling tomorrow, and I've got to get up at like 5 o'clock.
God.
But I mean, once I'm sitting down,
You'll be fine.
once I get to a bar and I just get a pint, I'll be happy days then, won't I?
Yeah.
What's happened for you this week?
Um.
So you've had a bit of a quieter week than me, I think, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I've pretty much
No mental breakdowns for you.
no. I've pretty much like gone to see like family and stuff, haven't I?
Didn't you sort your birthday out as well?
Yeah, I did. Me and Mum were going to Manchester for a few days. Towards the end of May, so that's like a week or so after my birthday. We're going to see Dirty Dancing, the show as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in the
Yeah, we
theatre.
talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, with our uncle. Yeah, so I'm quite busy this month.
So you go. How many days are you going there for? 3, is it?
3, yeah.
3 nights, or?
I think it's 3 nights, yeah.
And the place you're staying in is really
Oh,
nice, isn't it?
it's amazing, yeah. I think it's like a house, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like done up a bit fancy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I mean, we say that to us, it's dead fancy to everyone else. Probably just a normal. We're like, wow, look how nice this is. And everyone else would just be like,
Yeah.
yep, that's normal. So you're looking forward to that then?
Yeah, I really am.
Nice to get away for a few days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my birthday as well, even though I don't really go big or anything, do I?
I'm not looking forward to it, but it's purely because
What?
you're 20. I just don't like it.
What, it just makes you feel...
It makes me feel old. Well, obviously, because we're 11 years older than you.
Yeah.
Shock to you, I know.
Oh.
You know that. But like, when you were born, we used to think about certain ages you would be and the ages we would be at that time.
Really?
So like, we'd think like when you're 10, we'll be 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're 20, we'll be 31.
Yeah.
And like, those ages are just slowly happening.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was only yesterday when we were having them conversations, so it's mental. So yeah, I don't like you growing up.
Our Ben's probably the same, isn't he?
Do you know what? I think he's less sentimental about stuff like that than me. Because I'm not like a very emotional.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've just talked about crying this week, and I'm not ashamed of crying or nothing,
No.
but I'm not normally a
You don't know
crier,
what,
am
yeah,
I?
no.
Or like a big. I don't give much away. Although I'm open to talking about pretty much anything, I
Yeah.
don't give much about the effect it's having on me away, do I? Like, I can talk about
No.
it openly, but I just kind of distance myself from it then. Can't remember what we started talking about.
You're looking at it.
What were we talking about? Saying I'm not a big emotional guy. Oh yeah, so Ben's more like... So, but like sentimental stuff. Sorry everyone, that was probably the longest 5 seconds of your life trying to listen to me finish my story. So like I have little things like that I'm quite sentimental about.
Yeah.
And like I'll do the odd. So like from when I set Mum up on Disney Plus, like I wouldn't go up to Mum and say like, oh, meh. But then like I do little things like I knew she loved Loki, so I set a thing to Loki and she was like, it made her smile. I'm more like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Whereas our Ben's just like cracks on with it. So to him, he's probably not arsed that you're 20. But to me, because I don't do emotion with most things,
Yeah.
I'm a bit like, oh, that's poo. I don't like it. How do you feel about turning 20?
Mixed emotions, really. I'm in my mouth. I'm not going to be in my teens anymore, am I? So, like, I haven't feeling any different.
How old do you feel, do you think? I think that's always an interesting conversation to have. I just don't think anyone feels their actual age.
No. I always think of myself as, like, still...
You still think yourself as a kid?
Yeah.
Do you think I did?
Yeah.
At 19. And I don't know if part of me still does. I don't know if you ever lose that. But I feel like I'm still in my early 20s.
Yeah, because you know when I'm out with my friends and stuff, I expect Mum to give me a time to come home. But, like, she doesn't now, does she? So I can...
No, because you're 20 in, like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is.
I think it's, like, 2 weeks.
So, like,
Yeah.
You get to do whatever you want when you get a bit older.
Yeah. Just as long as, like, I let her know what's happening and
And then when you
stuff.
get to my age, no one else is giving you a bedtime, but you give yourself a bedtime. That's where
Yeah.
I've got to. So you go through your early 20s and no one gives you a bedtime. And you think, I would like to be in bed by, say, 11 o'clock. But if you're doing stuff and whatever, you'll stay out and that.
Yeah.
And then you get to my age, and I'm just speaking for myself here because I'm aware that at 31, not everyone is basically Grandad Dave. But
Well, like you are.
so I'm in bed by like 9:30 most nights, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm
So
like
is our
probably asleep
yeah.
by 10:30.
Our Ben's in bed way earlier than that, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Sometimes.
he's a
He,
freak of nature, Ben, isn't he? He gets
oh,
up at 5 o'clock and goes and does like fucking 6.5 hours in the gym before work.
oh God. All goes for a walk.
Fair play to him, like
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of discipline, but some days
So do I.
when you wake, some days I wake, so we've got each other on Apple Watch, like you get notifications for workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes I wake up
And you've
and
looked
I've like I say I haven't been sleeping well because I've been stressed the fuck. I'm like, now I'm nearly on holiday. I can't sleep because my head's just like, you'll be away soon. So I'll wake up at like 7 o'clock. I've had a terrible sleep. Probably had 5 hours sleep.
Mm.
And I'll look at my watch to see what time it is.
And then our Ben's.
And I'll get a notification like, Ben's completed a workout. And you look and he's been in the gym for like an hour and a half or something. And you're just like, some days I wish you would just not do that for me. Do you know what I mean? Just for my benefit, if one day I could wake up and you haven't done an hour and a half in the gym. Because not only that, we had a chippy yesterday.
We did, yeah.
And then we went to Pictures on Friday to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. And I get a full pizza and a box of garlic mushroom. I'm going on holiday tomorrow. And I've just stuffed my face all weekend. Like, I'm in agony. I'm in absolute agony. I've not even got on holiday yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be adding like beer to that.
Oh.
So it's going to be a good few days.
Good times.
Yeah. I've got like loads of new clothes to try on. But I mean, I'm fucked if they don't fit me now, because what am I going to do?
I know.
But yeah, so I am unprepared for this holiday. I'm very aware that it's happening.
Yeah,
But I've not even taken the tags off my suitcase yet.
I've not even packed it either.
I've not packed anything. I've not even thought about what I'm packing. The only thing I've done is thought about the pairs of shoes I'm taking. That's it.
And the sun cream.
And that was only because I knew I had to buy some, because I didn't have any. But I don't even know where the sun cream is.
Well, Mum bought you something, she?
Yeah, she goes, here's the sun cream for you. And I was like, oh, nice one. I'll put that somewhere where I'll remember where it is.
Oh, you don't even remember
No.
where you've put it.
So, yeah, it's 10:20 now. We're recording really early today, which if we both seem still half asleep, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been half asleep for a month now, anyway. But so yeah, it's quite early because we're needing to do it, so I can sort life out a bit. And I've just gone, oh well, I've got tomorrow, so I don't need to do that today because I've still got tomorrow, and I've now got to do everything today. I fell asleep. I missed the half of the full game yesterday.
Yeah, you fell asleep on the couch.
I fell asleep on the couch.
I ended up having to go to bed because I was just like, yeah.
And I woke up. I didn't wake up till like 8:30 or something. And then I've been back to bed. Oh, it was horrible. I just felt completely died watching the football.
I fell asleep pretty early last night as well. I don't remember what time though. I think it was around 9-ish. That's pretty early for me.
It's pretty early for like 99% of people. I think it's just not early to me. I'm like, yeah, 9 o'clock's great. But people watching this will be freaking out that I can be asleep at 9 o'clock. Freaking out, like it's so weird to most people.
Yeah.
I remember when. So I work from home like 99% of the time now, but remember results days where I've gone in to the office?
Yeah.
Because they're like the busy days of the year. And we went in last year, and because it's like you do earlier, you start earlier or finish later because they're like your two big days of the year. So some days you'll start for like 7 at 2 days and then finish at like 6 for 2 days or something. But I used to always be happy to do the early ones because I'd be up anyway.
Yeah.
And like, so I'd go in and do the early ones, and I'd been in the gym in the morning before it, and everyone would be like, "What time do you go to bed?" Like, because you do so much in the morning. And I was like, last night was like 9:30, and they all thought that was crazy. Everyone was like, "You go to bed at 9:30," and I was like, "I'm asleep by 9:30 most nights, yeah." And that was what I didn't tell them at the time was that's quite late for me.
And everyone lost their minds.
Everyone was freaking out, yeah. So I don't think you're weird for not falling asleep at 9 o'clock. I think we're weird.
No, but like I do fall asleep pretty early now because I'm more relaxed at night now. I'm not like,
Yeah, freaking out.
well, I'm not like anxious or anything. Yeah, it's not like going a mile a minute.
Tell you what is weird. Sitting here knowing it's like 10:20 in the morning, and we've got like studio lights on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like it's blacked out basically with just like studio lights lighting us up. So
Yeah.
it just takes away your sense of what time it is, doesn't it? But I know it's like 10:20.
Yeah.
And my head's finding it like mental to deal with that.
Yeah, I think mine's a bit like that as well.
I reckon that you could hear that on the mics, don't you?
What it was for a second.
After I've just talked about eating pizza and a chippy as well. That was gross. I'm really sorry if you did hear that. That was disgusting. Oh my god, it's going again. I think we'll have a break.
I'm just completely lost.
We were thinking of having a break anyway, or I was. So I'm thinking maybe my stomach is telling me that we need to have 5 minutes.
I'm just completely lost.
So that's been a bit of a more subdued first section, I think. But
Thanks to Thomas's stomach.
no, not just because of that. It was more subdued. Like we weren't as, I don't know, it wasn't all like messing about. But anyway, we're gonna have a break now because my stomach is not good. So we'll see you in a minute.
See ya.
Oh, fucking hell. Right, we're back. We checked the mics, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're all good today, which is a good start. This section could be, normal, or it could be dead short, in case I'm going to poo myself. So.
Good conversation.
Well, so if you've heard me stomach growl at the end of the first section, right? What you haven't seen yet, and I will clip, but it probably won't be in the episode. It'll probably just go on social media. When I started the recording, obviously before we sat down and talked, the first thing I said to Ellie on camera was, "My stomach's really growling here." And then, like 20 minutes later or whatever, as we go for a break, we have to go for a break because it's growling. So it has to be addressed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But because I've been living like a king, because I'm off now, I'm having a tough time with it. If you eat 2 takeaways for tea 2 days in a row,
Pardon the pun.
You pay for it. You know what I mean? And it costs you more than money. So you pay for it with your stomach as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm here. The mics are on. I've just realised I haven't fixed the screen. You can probably see more glare on the TV. But we've started now, so fuck it. I'm not
Getting off again.
I'll fix it, but we'll keep talking. Not that it'll probably make any difference now. Oh god, it's so scary, this screen.
Okay.
Right, okay.
That'll do.
That'll do, yeah.
No one breathe.
Hello. So I've got some would you rathers. I've got 4 of them for us to do, and then we'll talk about the punishments, because obviously
yeah.
it's our first episode since the first punishment, and then
Yeah.
we'll we've got a new idea, haven't we, for punishment?
Yeah.
And we need to remember the thing that we came up with yesterday during conversation, in case it doesn't come up again naturally. Because who knows? So we'll do that at the end. So we did do these yesterday, me and you, obviously.
Yeah,
but you need to remember that they haven't seen that. So don't just answer it and then be like, because that's what I said yesterday. You need to tell me why.
Yeah.
Just so you remember and I remember.
Mm.
Because there's things I haven't said from the first section which I said yesterday, but I didn't want to repeat myself, and then I realised I'm not repeating myself to them. It's just to you. So it doesn't matter.
No.
Anyway, we'll do them. So, would you rather lose an arm or a leg?
A leg. Because you do so much with your hands.
So, that's the thing for me. I think your brain makes you go arm, because you use your legs for like walking and stuff,
Yeah.
don't you?
I was going to say that first, and then I was like, well, you do so much more with your arms than your legs.
If you even just think about like using your phone or playing Xbox or something,
or
not
using
that you
it,
do
or
that,
like
but
trying to type on a computer.
yeah, just
Well,
like, and I think you can just get a fake leg and no one really could even ask to know if you've got a fake arm.
It's more. I reckon it's more noticeable as well.
Yeah, well, you don't. How often do you look at people's legs? Do you know what I mean?
Not very often.
So, unless you're like a perv or something. But yeah, I think arm. No, sorry, arm.
You think leg?
I think leg, and I think it's pretty easy.
I do, yeah.
But I can see the argument the other way as well, even though for me, I'd definitely rather lose a leg. It's not even close.
Yeah, I'd rather lose a leg because you do so much with your arms as well, don't you?
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine not being able to wipe your own bum. Too much.
What?
Too much.
Just a little bit.
Sorry, I've got my stomach on the brain, obviously. We'll just move on to the next one then. So, I think we might have different answers for this one, but I think you'll understand why I picked what I picked. So, and it's, would you rather always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
20 minutes early.
But that's not what you said first yesterday originally, was it?
No, but like after seeing your point yesterday, when I said 10 minutes late, I can see why 20 minutes early will probably be, because you're not going to stress.
No, and I think the argument for being 10 minutes late every time is you're not losing any of your own time then, are you?
No, it's just like work time.
Yeah, whereas if you're always 20 minutes early, that's like 20 minutes early every day, or every journey, whatever it applies to. And that's like, so you could be giving up like an hour a week or whatever more if you do more stuff, which most people probably do. It's just me who stays in all the time, doesn't really do anything. So I can understand that, and I imagine the majority of people probably say they'd rather be 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
But I get so much anxiety about being late for stuff. I'm never late for work, unless I've had to get public transport.
Yeah.
If I walk to work, well, when I did work before I worked from home with this job,
Yeah.
I used to walk and I was never late.
Because when I used to work before, I don't know obviously, but like I always used to walk, didn't I? But like if it was like really bad weather and that, I'd get like the bus and I'd just have to let like my team leader know.
See, but even that would stress me out.
Yeah, I'd be like, as soon as the bus or anything got to the bus stop, I'd be rushing into the.
Yeah, I don't like it. It makes me flat, and then it makes me like. So my social anxiety sort of stuff is like it's all worries before anything happens. So I always get anxious about stuff that probably isn't going to happen, and if I can avoid being late just to avoid that bit of stress, I would rather just be early all the time.
It's probably easier that way as well, isn't it?
But I can understand why people would rather just be 10 minutes late, because who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, but some people don't, do they?
No, exactly. So I think if I didn't have all this anxiety, I'd be 10 minutes late. But just for my own benefit, I'd be 20 minutes early, which is a weird thing to say for your own benefit, but you know what I mean. This next one I picked because I've got a theory about it, which we'll talk about more in a minute, but you'll understand why I've picked it. That's more you. I don't know about them. But, would you rather be a genius who knows everything, or be good at any activity that you tried?
Be good at any activity that I tried.
Yeah, I think that. And
Yeah, because being super smart like 100% of the time can be draining.
it's a lot, isn't it? Like being that clever.
Especially for your mental health and stuff
Yeah,
like
and I
that.
think like just knowing. So especially if you're a genius who learn. So there is a few out there, obviously geniuses. Not that I can think of any off the top of my head because I'm not one.
Yeah.
But it must be so taxing, I think, to know everything there is to know.
Yeah, because it can take a lot on you. Like it can just.
And there must be moments of being that clever where you just get really overwhelmed by it and it like makes you freak out.
Yeah.
So my theory is this, and I will just say the theory and then I'll justify it afterwards. So my theory is that super clever people have got worse like social skills, and it's because I don't think I think if you're like that clever, your brain's just like I haven't got time for any of this other bullshit. We're just dead clever and we know everything. Who's bothered if Trevor from down the road thinks you're alright? Then I've never met anyone called Trevor, but that was just the first name that came into my head. I don't know why, but the guy's called Trevor. Okay. So I think it'd be dead hard to be that smart and be good at being social. And I know a few like really smart people, and I always find it's awkward to get too much out of them.
And get into a proper conversation.
But I also know that this theory is wrong. I'm 100% aware of that. But I just like saying it because it makes me feel a bit better that I'm done. Because I'm like, yeah, but at least I can hold a conversation. But I also know that there's loads of super smart people who are also dead charismatic. Like Brian Cox is an example of that. I don't know if you know who that is.
No, I don't.
There's a professor who is really into like, I don't even know what the word for the type of science. It's about space.
Astrology?
No, that's
No.
about stars, isn't it? Is he an
Astronomy?
astrophysicist? I think he might be an astrophysicist. Anyway, he's intelligent as fuck, which clearly we're not. But he's also like really good at talking, so I'm aware that that theory is wrong. But I also like telling people it, just because one, I think before I prove that there's loads of examples that prove it wrong, it makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
And two, it makes me feel better that I'm stupid. So don't go telling people that's what I think because it's not. I know it's wrong. Okay, but I just needed that moment of me being like, yeah. So look at me being all thick but sociable, which I'm not. I'm not sociable either. I've got neither of those skills.
Well, you can hold a conversation.
Yeah, but but there's what's coming out my mouth and what's going on in my head are like two different things.
Yeah, true.
So for you,
I think I had the same problem.
So for you, it looks like I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time. Yeah, everything's all right. In my head, I'm like, all the time.
That was probably really loud for everyone as well.
Shit,
sorry.
Yeah. I'll drop the audio level down a bit. If I remember. I'm going on holiday in less than 24 hours, so probably won't. But we'll see. No, I'll try and remember because that was probably really loud. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would pick being good at really any activity either. Oh, that was why I wanted to bring. No, this is what I wanted to remember us to talk about before.
Yeah.
So I would like to just be good at like pool and darts
yeah.
and stuff in the pub because I'm shit at both.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like I'm really good at pool, but I can hold my own.
Because do you play with your mates when you go out?
Yeah, because in New Brighton they've got the bowling alley, haven't they?
Yeah, there's pool tables in there.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm crap at pool, but I like playing it because it's good to just have a chat with your mates as well.
It's a good laugh as well. Especially if you fuck up.
What?
Especially if you fuck up, like try and.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I do that almost every shot. I'm really bad. But so I'd love to just be like confident enough to just start up a game of pool with anyone. Be in a pub and just be like, because you get quite often, especially amongst young lads, they'll be like, do you want to play pool against us so we can assert our dominance? Do you know what I mean? If we beat you, we're clearly the better men, kind of thing. So there's a lot of that goes on. Not so much now at my age, but when I was a bit younger. And I would love to have just been like, yeah, let's go, and just be able to smash them to bits every time. So I don't know if I'd hope that comes under being good at any activity you try. So essentially, I think it's more important. This is also, I'm aware that this is a stupid thing and it's not true either. But to me, it's more important that I can assert my dominance in a social group over another group of men than it is that I'm smart.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to say, I think. That's not true. That's how I've justified it in my head has made me feel like that's what I'm trying to say.
Trying to make yourself feel better as well.
Yeah. So yeah, just to reiterate again, I know that theory is wrong. So if you're dead clever, you probably can hold a conversation. And you probably have got social skills. But I'm just going to pretend that you haven't got both. Then we've got one more, which is, would you rather have a rewind or a pause button for your life? So before you answer, the way I interpret this is that it starts now. So you haven't had this option your whole life. So it starts now. So, and you've just got to remember that if you rewind 20 years, you wouldn't have been born 20 years ago. I'm sure I used that same example yesterday. If you went back 5 years, you're now living 5 years ago. You can't fast forward again.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to so I'd imagine you'd hear this question, you could think about things in your life that you'd like to rewind back to and do differently. But if you do that, you're then stuck there.
I think I'd choose pause because there's some points in my life that I wouldn't want to relive again.
Yeah.
And if I paused, then I'd have more time to think.
See, I think pause is what I'd go for purely because you can take a breath.
Yeah.
Before you, so if you're in a tough spot,
you have more time to think of what you're gonna do or what you're gonna say.
But it's also like when the moment takes place.
Yeah.
It's the first time that moment has happened, so it's authentic, even if you've had time to think about it. Whereas I think if you're rewinding something, you're going back to completely change your behaviour. And I feel like you would be living your life
all over
like
again.
It's a lie. And then I think that would really take a toll on you mentally because you'd be wondering whether you would ever really be in yourself or always just trying to
be someone you're not.
Get it right first take, if you get me.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh, if I get it wrong, I can just rewind it and make yourself look good. I feel like you do so much to you mentally. Whereas I think if you had a pause button,
you could just take a breather.
It'd just be taking a breather and it'd be quite beneficial.
Yeah. That's why I choose pause.
Yeah. Selfishly, I'm going on holiday.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to delay my last day by a couple of hours, just pause it and stay by the pool for a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I think, I can definitely see
both sides.
Yeah, I can see the allure, I guess, of rewind, and I can see why some people
will want to rewind.
And some people could probably take it, but I think it would just mess me up.
I feel like it messed me up as well because I've had some really bad points in my life, haven't I?
Yeah,
so I wouldn't really want to go through that again.
Yeah, anyone who's been through traumatic experiences, which I suppose nearly everyone has got an example of, I think that makes the rewind one a little bit less appealing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So that's all 4 of them we've done now.
Yeah.
Last couple of things, just talk about the punishment.
So I lost.
You can do this bit because you lost.
Yeah. So we played word association and I lost. So this was my first punishment.
But we played 3 games on the first 3 episodes, and you lost 2 and I lost 1, so I won 2-1. So it wasn't just lost episode, was it?
No. Anyway, I lost. So as a punishment, I reluctantly had to change Thomas's bed. But it didn't do that bad, did I?
No, I
half expected to be a lot more sweary.
I said this while I was recording. I expected that it was going to be hilarious for me because I thought you were just going to be fuming. And I genuinely was excited for that. But you handled it really well. And that was devastating.
Yeah. The dog kept getting in the way.
And you didn't know yesterday, did you, that the reason I chose that punishment was because that's what you were going to do to me?
Yeah.
So that wasn't what I picked, because I didn't even think of a punishment for you, because I thought you were going to beat me.
Yeah.
So when I found out that you were going to make me do that, I was like, I know you hate changing your bed, so that's what I'm doing. Back.
Yeah.
That was... So we've done the first punishment now, that's out the way. We're going to change slightly the way we do the games, aren't we?
We did have a talk about this, didn't we?
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is, rather than do one game every week, because it's really hard to just think something to cram into the end of an episode.
And we don't really want to repeat games as
Yeah,
well.
and like when you've only got like 2 minutes at the end of an episode or something to fit something in.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is film one game once a month and a punishment once a month as like a separate thing.
Yeah, because I think that'll be easier for the both of us, really.
But I think it's better to watch as well.
Yeah.
So the first thing we came up with was to play pool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just to have a game of pool. And when I come back off holiday, I've got the comedy night that week, and you're going to come. So we can play pool at that.
And we can get our brother to...
We can get our Ben to film it.
Yeah.
And we can get mic'd up just for 10 minutes while we play. And then we can do a punishment off that. And I think that'll look better for you guys to watch as well.
And it'll be easier on us, because then we're not having to like repeat ourselves constantly.
And I think it's just difficult.
Yeah, because if we repeat ourselves as well, it'll be boring for everyone else.
Yeah, and it's like difficult in the moment to try and we usually forget to think of a game.
Yeah, especially off the top of our heads.
And we're trying to think of a game like midway through, like when we have a break, or it's a fucking nightmare. So we're going to try it that way anyway, and hopefully that's better.
Yeah.
And it's better for you guys as well.
Yeah.
So last thing I guess is just social. So the podcast email address is at siblingrivalpodcast at. It's not at siblingrival. It's siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com. So any questions, would you rather's,
just send them to us in email.
To us. Any feedback about,
or any other social media.
Any feedback about the punishment as well. Let us know, and let us know what you think of changing it up a bit, to see if you think that's something you'd be interested in watching as a separate thing. This month's punishment will be in this episode at the end. But going forward, we think that we'll do them separate, so I don't know if you'll find that interesting or not. And then the podcast is also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sibling Rival Pod. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Furlong _.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at XEHarrisonX.
Cool. And then next episode will now be recorded after I get back off holiday, so hopefully I've got a time. And hopefully nothing's gone wrong while we've been recording this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, so love you.
Love you too.
And see you all next time.
Bye.
Hello everyone. If you watched this week's episode of Sibling Rivalry, you'll know that Ellie lost the game, which means that she's got to do the first punishment. I found out that she was going to make me change if she won. So I've decided that I'm going to do the same thing to her, because I know she hates changing bed sheets. I have mic'd her up, and we're going to go and check on how she's getting on, and we'll see you in a sec.
This is going very well.
How are you finding it so far? The sheet's on, that's a start.
Yeah, I'm having a fight with the quilt.
So what have you done?
I don't know.
There's Mika. He's running around.
No,
nearly done. Keep going.
Got it.
So, yeah, you're not very good at changing sheets, are you, El?
Nope.
And you don't like doing it particularly either, do you?
Not really.
So now you're just climbing all over my bed in your slippers. Nice. So this is going to motivate you to not lose the next one, do you reckon? Hey?
Yeah, definitely. Next time I'm making you do this to my bed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to watch you do it, because it's funny to watch you get annoyed.
Oh, Mika.
Mika's helping out there, making herself right at home.
Mika.
We'll just look at the dog for a bit. The dog's pretty.
Yeah, because I'm boring.
Not boring, it's just funny, isn't it? So, yeah, I remember when we were talking about the punishments, and you said that if you won, that you would make me change your bed. Mum gave you the idea.
Yeah.
Because she knows you hate it.
Yeah, you can't be daft, Mum.
What?
You can't be daft, Mum.
So but it's because I knew you were going to do it to me, so I was just like, well, I'll do that then. And like I said on the episode, I fully assumed that I was going to lose. So
Yeah, and then
then you lost.
yeah. Oh, what the
We'll
hell?
talk about it properly on an episode again, but we're thinking of changing slightly how we do the games and the punishments, aren't
Yeah.
we? So we're thinking we might just do like one game a month as like a special that we'll just release sort of separately from the podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
But me and Ellie need to discuss that in a bit more
Yeah,
detail.
we'll figure that out next week.
Oh, she's actually not doing a bad job here. So I'm quite surprised. She hasn't swore at me yet either, which is nice.
The dog's right.
Are you sweating yet, El?
No, actually, I'm not. The dog's made us all right at home.
Yeah, she's happy days, isn't she?
Yeah, me.
I don't know if she's appeared before, has she? So
No, she hasn't actually. This is Mika, the 7-year-old dog.
7-year-old baby.
You helping me? Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I assumed that this was going to be a lot more funnier for me because I thought she was going to be raging.
We can move your paw.
But she's actually doing a decent job, so I'm not. So I need to think of something worse next time.
Not too extreme, please.
No. But is this what you're going to do to me? Is it if you win
Oh, bless
the
you.
next time?
Yeah. I'm sorry if you heard the dog sneeze right down the microphone.
Oh,
She moved. Oh, my thumb was
she's
wrong.
looking at the camera. Hey.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
Oh, sugar, I think I've done this completely wrong.
Have you? Yes, this is what we wanted.
I'm not swearing.
Have you buttoned it up all wrong?
I think, yeah. Oh, Christ.
We can fix that.
So
we'll just do a quick word on how Ellie feels being a loser, and then we'll let her get on with fixing it. Just keep looking at the dog for a bit. Right, go on then. So how was it? Not as bad as you thought?
No, it wasn't as bad as I thought. At least I didn't have a fight with the quilt.
No, it wasn't too bad, was it? I did have to show you how to do it. But...
Yeah, you did. I'm not used to... I've got a colourless quilt, haven't I?
Yeah, wonder why that is, because no one could be arsed listening to you moaning. So, what's it like to lose?
I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Are you determined to beat me next time?
Yes.
So that's this month's punishment. It's a nice, easy one to start with. Like I say, we're going to try and ease them in a bit gently so Ellie doesn't get scared away, aren't we, El?
Yeah, because at the minute, even though my confidence is rising, I'm still getting used to all this.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes for next month. But I enjoyed that, so thanks for watching, and I haven't got to make my bed this week, so that's good. See you all later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.